Hi Photogs, it's Paige, the Fat Photog here, and it is Fat Tuesday, which means I'm serving up another funky fresh tutorial. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can take pictures that are blah, little snapshots that you really love and you want to elevate them to something that's wow, something that you would either print in a book or put up on your wall. I took this picture last weekend at my daughter's birthday party. I love the way my husband was looking at her. It was such a sweet little moment, but the lighting wasn't great in there. There was a lot of mixed lighting and I snapped it really quick, didn't have my settings quite right. And so I wanted to just elevate it to something that I could print. And so I'm going to go through the steps that I took in Lightroom Mobile on my iPad. And these steps you can take in Lightroom Mobile on your iPad. You can do it on Lightroom Mobile on your phone. You can even do this on the desktop version. You just find the sliders that are, titled the same thing, and you can replicate this edit, which is kind of a soft, pink, dreamy edit that I thought really matched a unicorn birthday party. So let's get started.
In Lightroom, the first thing that I like to do is I like to white balance the image. And to white balance the image, if you haven't used a gray card or something like that, what you need to do is find a neutral point, and you can use the eyedropper tool. So that is found under color, and the eyedropper tool is right here. And a little trick, if you are editing a photo of a person, you can actually zoom in on the whites of their eye and use that as your neutral point to set your white balance. So that's the first thing I always like to do. And now that I have the white balance set, I'm going to go under light, and I'm going to use the curve tool. And this is the tonal curve. It's a little different than the curves in Photoshop if you're familiar with that, but it's different, but it's also similar. And what I want to do is I want to raise the midtones because that's really going to add to, I had a bunch of light and just give it kind of that dreamy effect that I'm going for. So what I'm doing is I'm raising with my finger up the center of the curve. And then if I want to add back a little bit of contrast, I can bring the curve like this and make it more of an S. So the more of an S I have it, the more contrast it adds. Because the goal for this is to make this image look dreamy, but then I also don't want to make it look super washed out. So I'm just adding just a tiny bit of contrast back in. I am going to boost the exposure slightly, which is probably like a little bit more like overexposed than this image actually should be. But again, I'm going for, a dreamy effect to the image. So I did raise the exposure just slightly. I'm going to bring down the highlights though, which is going to recover the highlights over in this area. And then I'm going to boost the shadows, which just gives it a little bit of creaminess. And I am focusing over on this area of the image where my daughter and my husband are looking at each other. And now what I'm going to do under color, I already did the white balance, but I'm going to add a little bit of vibrance, which saturates the colors without making them look super funky. So it's just adding a little bit of color in there. And then I'm going to go under effects, and I'm going to raise the clarity. Clarity adds some contrast and also some sharpening. And so I'm going to raise that a little bit, which is just going to make the fine details stick out a little bit. And now I'm going to show you a trick on how I add that like haziness. I use the dehaze slider, which normally if you had a really hazy picture, like if you're taking a picture in bright sun, you would dehaze it and it's going to take away the haziness. Well, I want to add a little bit of haziness to this image. So I'm not going to go very far, but I'm adding a little bit of haziness. And then I'm going to sharpen this a little bit. Sharpen those fine details, and then I am going to slightly reduce the noise. This is taking a little bit of a higher ISO, so I'm going to do a little bit of noise reduction just to get rid of some of that green. Now I'm going back under effects, and I'm going to split tone, and to get that pink tone, I'm going to add into the shadows a little bit of pink, and not very much at all, but I'm just adding a little bit of pink into the shadows. So now I have this the way I want it, and I'm going to crop it. So your eye is drawn to that cute little gaze that they have. Done. And so there you have it. So this was where we ended up. This was the beginning, and this is the after.
All right, that's it. I hope this helped you learn some helpful tricks in Lightroom. And make sure that you like and subscribe this video. It helps me know that you like the videos that I'm dishing out to you and helps me make more free tutorials for you. If you haven't joined the Fat Tuesday Club yet, you can join that for free on my website. It is www.thefatphotog.com, and you can join that. I serve out extra stuff for you for free. Sometimes they're actions, sometimes they're templates, and I serve those out to you on the first Tuesday of every month. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.